This is J-Man with MusicMarauders.com here with Steve Kimock. I appreciate you sitting down with me today.
No problem.
Can you talk about your connection to Dead music and what it means to the live music festival scene?
Oh, geez, that's a lot of stuff. Well, my connection to the thing came kind of later in life for me, geographically, because I grew up in Pennsylvania and didn't really pay any attention to the Grateful Dead, which was odd because there was other San Francisco bands that I was listening to at the time that I thought were great, but the Dead didn't hit me until I moved to California, and I lived in California for a while until it actually sunk in. So my connection with the Dead was geographic, and just because it was like in my face the whole.
When did you kind of come into the Dead music? Around what time?
Late 70s, maybe. Fantastic time to get in.
Yeah, indeed.
It was neat. And so then I wound up playing with a bunch of those guys, because I lived there. I mean, it's just like local guys. So, what does it mean to the festival scene?
To the live music festival scene. It's spawned.
Well, except for some strictly religious gatherings in other parts of the world, I mean, just for a gathering, it's pretty big. I mean, it's big, How big were those shows? Were they like Major League Baseball big or NASCAR big? Pretty big.
Yeah.
All the time. So I mean, it's kind of what we focused the bulk of the gathering around. That's important.
Yeah. How does a 3-night run differ musically from doing single shows in any given place? Do you find you're more connected to the crowd, or
for the audience? I think it gives them a better chunk of what the band does, and it's easier for the band in a lot of ways, because you don't have to like tear down and sound check and readjust, and you don't have to completely reinvent the thing every night, know. And as you go, then the production's just more practiced, and it just starts sounding better. You get more comfortable with it, A lot of the audience, when they do the multi-day run thing, they don't got to worry about driving home and stuff like that, and take cab and stuff, So people tend to be a little looser, at least in the middle of the 3 days.
Yeah, indeed. Yes, sir. What goes into selecting musicians for your projects?
Well, I mean, if I was independently wealthy, and just get whoever I wanted. As it is, what goes into selecting musicians is go, hey, let's play. Who's available?
So it's based on availability, maybe.
And so, I mean, I might want to get whoever, and maybe they're there, maybe they're not. But that's all it really is. Just how far ahead you can plan something to get good people.
What has been the most challenging project that you've been involved with for you, and mainly musically? Have there been any projects for you that stand out, I guess, where you're really, really, really studying the material harder than anything else that you're doing musically, or any musicians you've sat in where you feel like you need to elevate your playing to really,
I don't need to be playing with anybody specific to feel like picking it up if I can. That's mostly your response to the audience and to the listening.
Okay.
In the room. If the listening in the room is good and the audience is right there, that's really what picks it up. If there's a challenge, it's the same for every gig, which is for me to do the kind of music that interests me, which is largely improvisational, then how do you set the table for that? You know, every little thing, you know, the feng shui or whatever, all of the production and the people and the audience and all that stuff together.
Can you talk about improvisational music and what it means for what you do specifically?
I don't know if I can or not. There's a feeling that I get when I'm in that musical place, which to me is a place. You don't make the music so much as you sort of find your way in it. You know, like where we are. You know, and there's just something I really like about sharing that space with somebody, whether it's a guy in a band or the audience, and then kind of like, you know, like where are we? And then you recognize together, oh look, we're in this cool place. That, you know, and trying to, you know, string those. Oh look, we're in this new wonderful place. And we're, you know, the awareness of that together.
So how was the Tri Studios experience with Bob Weir recently?
It was just like super so much fun, and kind of typical of my stuff with Bob, because there's very little prep for it.
Right.
You know, as much as like we try and never shit together with somebody, you know, Weir or anybody else, with the possible exception of words, we just like, oh, just play something. Don't fuck it up. But I talked to him about it, I think on Jam Cruise or something. He says, hey, you want to come down when we launch a new studio? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then never said anything about it. And then, like a week or two before it happened, somebody called and said, hey, don't forget you're gonna. And so I like text him. I go, are we supposed to get ready for this or something? And no, we're gonna wing it. And then I walked in and it was that, you know, because I really didn't know, I wasn't paying attention, you know. And then it was the giant, super hi-fi and video and high def.
It's an interesting experience, I'm sure.
It was I can't really explain it. It was a UFO abduction.
Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate you sitting down and doing this with me. Thank you very much. Steve Kimock, everyone.
Hey, mister. Who's this?
Is that one of Jay's?
That one of Jay's?
Well,
Hey.
there you go. You got his attention.
To respond to clicking?
He did. Let me take that back one second.
I know what you're saying.